Very lucky to be joined in studio today by the president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, Sean O'Brien, who is here to update us on a variety of important organizing issues you all have been focused on. So welcome. Great to have you back.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
So first, let's start with this. Guys, put this first element up on the screen. Calling for a nationwide boycott of Molson Coors. So just tell us what's going on here. Do they use an influencer you guys didn't like, something like that, or maybe something a little more significant?
No, they. So we just settled a historic Anheuser-Busch contract,
Yes.
and you know, it was a tough, long, contentious negotiation. But at the end of the day, you know, we got what our members deserved and demanded, and this company is very profitable. And they actually recognized at the last day how important that our members were. They're American company, American brewed beer, and they're very, very. They recognize who makes them the success they are, and you know, we want to set industry-leading standards with all our contracts. So next up was Molson Coors. And they have had their way with concessions over the last several contracts. So we took a strong position that, you know, if it's good enough for Anheuser-Busch, it's good enough for Molson Coors. Molson Coors is very, very profitable. CEO makes a ton of money. Typical story, and they wouldn't do it right, and they chose to strike themselves. And our members have been on strike well over 40 days right now, holding strong, and we're not going to concede until we get the best deal for our members.
Very good. Well, we wanted to make sure we highlighted that. I know
And it is a national boycott.
Okay. Well, there you heard. You heard it here. Not first, but you definitely heard it here as well. I wanted to reach out to you, sir, in particular about this self-driving car issue. I know this bubbled up a couple of months ago. We could put this up here, please, on the screen. This is just about they say self-driving semi-trucks coming to America's highways. I know that there was a split here with the California governor, Gavin Newsom, and I was wondering if you could break some of that down for us, because I know that this is something that bubbled up and really bothered you guys in the past.
Oh, it bothers us still.
Or today, yeah.
And, you know, the one thing that Governor Newsom has proven that he's bought and paid for by big tech. And he fails to remember when there was a recall who supported him the most, and that was organized labor. And look, we don't want autonomous vehicles. We're all about protecting jobs. More importantly, it could be a major public safety issue. You know, you have a 80,000-pound vehicle, you know, going up and down these roads, family of four. You know, the best computer that I know is your gut instinct in your mind. And if you have a human operator, they're going to react a lot quicker to a potential safety risk and everything else. But, you know, it's unfortunate that Governor Newsom is bought and paid for by big tech, and he chose the wrong side in this one. And we are going to do everything in our power legislatively to fight autonomous commercial vehicles and autonomous vehicles in general. And we have to do that on a state level. We have to do it on a federal level. We have the ability through collective bargaining to protect against autonomous vehicles, and we've been very successful in all the negotiations that we have had with, you know, major corporations like UPS and others. So we have that ability to limit them during collective bargaining, but we want to make sure that we protect jobs as a whole nationwide and the safety.
Where are we in the trajectory of the adoption of this technology? Is this a state-by-state issue? Is it a federal issue? Is it both? And how much of a threat is it to your membership?
It's a major threat. All technology, whether it's AI or autonomous vehicles, is a major threat to jobs. And it's a major threat to the infrastructure that, you know, we're investing as taxpayers day in and day out for roads and bridges. It's a credible threat. It's state by state. We've got to fight it, and then we have to take it on at a national level.
Something I'm curious about in the way that you guys think about it. Obviously, I agree in terms of job protection and all that. They, you know, I believe that the justification is they're like, oh, well, you're standing in the way of progress. You of course rise safety. How do you and your members, how do you guys think about, you know, things in the future? Is it accommodation? Is it just fighting it back against it? Like, how do you think about, you know, with the role of technology, your own jobs, and what I believe is one of the most critical things that you guys do?
So put autonomous vehicles aside from that. Technology is coming. It's here. You know, and you know, companies, you know, want to utilize it, you know, for efficiencies, and that's all well and good. But there's other jobs that can be created as a result of technology, and that's what we've been focused on. It's like technology's coming. It's here. We can either do one or two things. We can either pout about it and do nothing, and/or be creative and find a way to who's programming this technology, who's maintaining this technology, and create jobs. And we've been successful in the warehouse industry, grocery warehouse industry, where there has been implementation of technology, but we've created just as many jobs as a result of, finding ways to service this technology, finding ways to program this technology, helping design this technology. So there is opportunity as a result of technology.
Can you talk a little bit about the sort of overall organizing landscape? Because for really the first time in my lifetime, labor seems to be securing some big wins. I'm used to the 90s era of all these concessionary contracts after concessionary contracts. You all had big wins with regards to UPS. We saw, significant contract improvements from UAW. There seems to be a lot of energy in terms of organizing new shops. What are you seeing in terms of what's possible for labor right now?
Well, I think we're we have a great opportunity. We have been taking advantage of it. We have a younger workforce that is passionate about organizing, passionate about the unions, which is, very, very encouraging for an old guy like me. We always fourth generation. I always want to leave this organization better than we found it.
Yeah.
But organizing is key right now. We're organizing in the Teamsters Union in traditional industries like construction, but we're also looking at, obviously, Amazon's our biggest target. We are focused on cannabis, where there's 425,000 W-2 employees that are cultivating, warehousing, and there'll be distribution. So we are focused. We have been organizing, getting contracts there. So yeah, we have to look at every opportunity. When you look at these young workers, like at Starbucks, you look at Chipotle, it's encouraging because, we have proven our value through the pandemic, organized labor, how we provided, our members were essential. They provided goods and services to keep this country moving. And now, with this opportunity with the younger generation who is thirsty to fight and not afraid to stand up, it's great. I think the sky's the limit moving forward. We just have to keep this momentum going.
How much has the more pro-worker Biden administration LRB helped to enable some of those victories and expand what's possible?
Oh, clearly, when you make a change from, the previous administration who was anti-worker, anti-union, it has made it a lot easier. Elections have gone a lot smoother. There's a lot more due diligence and violations and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's about getting our message out. What can we do for workers? What can we do as far as representing people? And I think, to your point earlier, we've negotiated as Teamsters the strongest contract, $30 billion at UPS, DHL, record contract, Anheuser-Busch. The proof is in the pudding. And this new generation of workers, when it comes to organizing, they want to see what they're actually going to get. So what we've been focused on as an organization is getting the best contract, and that's a true template to what we're doing moving forward. People want to see, this new generation want to see actually information. And, social media has played a huge role in getting our messaging out, has played a huge role in, basically bringing solidarity, connecting people. So, again, I'm very excited about the direction of the unions and the American workforce.
You made a reference there to the previous administration. I know you went down to Mar-a-Lago. You met with former President Trump. Did you tell him any of this? How is he thinking about
Look, the reality of it is this. We had roundtables with every single candidate. And, our message is clear. You have to earn our endorsement, and you have boxes you need to check off, whether it's not supporting national right to work. We need to have a PRO Act where it makes, organizing easier. But more importantly, it mandates, arbitration to get a first contract. We need bankruptcy reform when these companies just run from their obligation and our members don't get their benefits. And, we've got antitrust. There's a lot of issues out there that are important to us. Autonomous vehicles, technology. And the one thing we said is the government, for some reason, when you deal with a company like Amazon, for example, why do we reward a bad employer? We know they're a bad employer. We know they skirt all kinds of obligations with this independent contractor model. There's a 150% turnover ratio. They focus on distressed communities. Why would we, as a government, as a nation, keep rewarding bad employers with lucrative contracts? So, we've gotten our message out to everyone, President Biden as well, former President Trump, RFK. Everybody knows our issues, and those issues and that script, when we brought them in, was not tailored towards any one candidate. It was just focused on our issues that our members face every day and the potential risk.
All right.
The point about the contracts is so important because, it's easy for politicians to make an excuse about the we tried really hard. Sorry, guys, we'll give it another shot again. But, we had these opponents in Congress. We just couldn't get across the line. Well, you're talking about the contracts. That's something the president can do unilaterally. There's no excuse
Right.
for rewarding a company, a union-busting company like Amazon, that is bad to their workers, as you point out. And if you look at the injury statistics, much higher than industry average. Wonder if you could just give us an update on where you guys are with Amazon organizing, what's the latest progress, and what's the big picture?
So we have been working on Amazon. I mean, you see what's going on in Southern California. We've committed to invest $300 million organizing Amazon. It is going to be we're working on some affiliations that are going to position us to go after the direct employees. But look, we need to put pressure on Amazon from all fronts. And people have to understand that, although it's a convenience and it's, Amazon is everywhere, they are not good employers. They are not good people, and they do not treat their workers well. We are going to, spend every resource we have to make certain that we organize Amazon workers. And, the best part about it is, again, we talk about that young generation. They are all in on this, which is very, very important to us.
So you're seeing a lot of receptivity?
We're seeing, absolutely we are.
So
especially after the UPS contract.
Right. Yeah, of course.
They do the same work that UPS workers do. Our part-timers are making well over $21 an hour. They get full medical, they get full pensions, but more importantly, they get a path to a career. There's no path to a career at Amazon.
What's the next thing that we should be looking for in terms of that organizing drive?
Well, you're going to look for us turning it up, focusing on major cities, and getting out there and continuing the spread the word. We have a great volunteer organizing committee of peers that work at UPS, that work at DHL, where we've had another huge victory at CVG, where we organized 1,100 members. We have another 1,500 got a first contract. They're right at that hub, right next to where Amazon has a 1 million square foot warehouse on that facility, and that's going to be our next target.
All right.
The last question I had for you is a number of unions have put out statements with regard to Israel's war in Gaza, specifically calling for a ceasefire. To my knowledge, you all haven't put out anything of the like. Just wanted to ask if that's something that you all are considering, and more broadly, what your philosophy is with regard to the role of unions when it comes to those sort of international solidarity
Look,
movements.
we all know that this world is in a very difficult time, and it's unfortunate that innocent people are being victimized, but by this terrible situation, not only there but also Ukraine, Russia. I'm focused on fighting the war that I've been fighting for the last 34 years of my life. That's the war on corporate America. It's a war on politicians that don't support us. And look, it's unfortunate, and hopefully there'll be a resolution. People talk about the genocide, and there's a higher court, higher power that's going to decide that. I'm just focused on the labor movement, focused on my members, and focused on making certain that workers are taken care of. That's my war.
Fair enough. Well, we really appreciate your time, sir. You're welcome back here anytime. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for taking the time for us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
Hey guys, if you like that video, go to breakingpoints.com, become a premium subscriber, and help us build the best independent media organization on the planet.
That's right. We're subscriber funded. We're building something new. We want to replace these failing mainstream media organizations.
So again, to subscribe, it's breakingpoints.com.